of the season. Winnipeg is coming off back-to-back wins against Calgary, which should give them some confidence as this game is for first place. Vancouver, on the other hand, is coming off a very close loss to the Scarborough Shooting Stars, which some are already calling the game of the season. I'm sure they'll be very eager to get back into the win column as well. Let's head to Dave and Joey for more.
All right, thanks, Emily. And yeah, many people here are hoping this will be the new game of the season. I'm Joey Slattery. This is Dave Crook. And Dave, a lot of people had a lot of anticipation for this game. Mitch Creek made his debut last week. People were hoping he might be here this week. Xavier Moon arrived in Winnipeg. He was the first announced signing for the Sea Bears this year. Finished his season in Russia, but neither are playing tonight. But there's still a lot up for grabs here, and there should be some fireworks as well. Shamar Gibbons making his debut for Vancouver. But these are two teams that have had a very even record throughout their time. I think the all-time record is 6-5. Winnipeg has the edge on Vancouver, and these are two teams that are destined for the playoffs.
Yeah, two very good teams. I mean, 24 hours ago, I thought my key matchup was going to be, two guys who aren't in uniform tonight. But I think it's going to be a great game. There's lots of great players. Two teams that can really put up a lot of points. So I think it could be back and forth, high tempo. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a race to 100.
Yeah, and let's take a look at how these teams match up. Taking a look at their stats here so far this season. As you can see, Vancouver scores in bunches, averaging 105 points, 104.6 to be exact. That is by far the most in the CEBL. They're the only team averaging over 100 points this season. Field goal percentage dead even at 49%. Same with the free throws. 3-point percentage, an edge for Vancouver. So that's something that the Sea Bears are going to have to pay attention to. The assists are the same, and rebounds just a shade different. A little bit of an edge to Vancouver at 35. But this is an indicator, Dave, that this is probably going to be a pretty even battle unless one team can break out on a run.
Yeah, I think two pretty equal teams. I think two teams who could easily fight for first and second in the West. Winnipeg's had a tough road. They've been had a lot of road games. Interesting to see how they settle in, play at home. Vancouver's had a tough time in this building in the past, so we'll see.
Yep, and Winnipeg, one of two teams, along with the Montreal Alliance, that are averaging less than 90 points allowed. So the challenge will be that tonight with Vancouver, who has the best scoring power in the CEBL. Emily Potter had a chance to catch up with Sea Bears head coach Mike Rabel ahead of this game. Let's listen in.
Coach, Teddy is coming off of back-to-back Player of the Week honors, and it seemed like his last few games were somehow a quiet 25-plus a game. What do you have to say about just his consistency on these last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing with Teddy is that, he's doing so many other things besides score. I mean, he's definitely helping at the defensive end. He's rebounding. He's moving the ball to open people. I mean, he's getting in the passing lanes and, creating extra possessions for us. I mean, we know what he can do at the offensive end, but he's been totally focused and bought into all the team stuff that we're asking him to do, and he's leading by example, and we hope he can continue it tonight.
Great. So when it comes to Vancouver, they are a great team. They got a lot of, different weapons in different places. What is a key one or two things that you're focusing on going into this game?
Yeah, it's super important for us to try to control the tempo. I mean, obviously we want to be good in transition, and we need to limit early, easy three-point attempts, and it's going to take a total team effort on the defensive end.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. And yeah, Teddy Allen putting himself in the conversation for MVP. The best scoring team in the league is in Winnipeg. The best scorer is in Winnipeg. Teddy Allen averaging nearly 28 points a game. Stay with us. We have the rest of your pregame show coming up and tip-off. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gems, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, for that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian hoops.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're going to have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is a chair. I'm living for real. Ain't all that I gotta think. I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. Tip-off about to get underway. Starting lineups being introduced for the home team CBears. I'm Joey Slattery alongside David Crook. Emily Potter, our sideline reporter tonight. We are in for a dandy. We have the best offensive team in the league, and the Vancouver Bandits in town up against one of the stingiest defenses in the Winnipeg CBears. And Dave Crook, as we kind of move forward here, let's take a look at the keys to the game. Let's start with the visiting Vancouver Bandits. It's a little different look than we expected. What is the key for them tonight?
Well, I mean, I think they've got to be good in transition. They want to score. They want to make it a up and down game. They really want to, spread Winnipeg out. I think they want to use their physicality. I think they've got to try to get into the lane. I think they want to create some second chance opportunities on old glass. It's going to be a little bit tougher with a little different lineup. And I think in the end, they want to make Winnipeg earn every single point. They've got to find a way to slow the CBears down, grind them down a little bit. Don't give them anything easy. Don't give them the runouts. Don't give them transition. They can do that. They might be okay.
Yeah, to Kyle Julia's team, one thing you know you're going to get with him is effort. Taking a look now at the home team, the keys to the game.
I think the big thing for Winnipeg is, they've got to attack the paint. That's something they do well. They create for each other, share the ball, deal with the Vancouver 3-ball. It might be the best weapon in the entire league. They shoot the ball as well as anybody. And the last thing is Winnipeg needs to really focus on the defense and turn that defense into offense, whether it's run out, whether it's transition, whether it's takeaway.
And the starting lineups have been introduced. It's Youth and Sports Night, so we had some kids introducing the starting lineups, and we will give you the starting lineups here tonight, starting with the Bandits. Jarkel Joyner, Dominic Parolin, the Canadian that's had a bit of a breakout season here the last few games. Dwayne Notice, the CEBL veteran. Miller Kopp, marksman here for the Vancouver Bandits, and Jalen House, who's had a great start to this season and is a lot to handle. One of the guys they'll be keying in on here, the Winnipeg CBears. And as we look to the CBears starting lineup, no surprises here. Teddy Allen getting the start again. He averages the most minutes for the CBears with nearly 35 a game. Trey McGowan's getting the start. Simon Hildebrand, Isaiah Osborne, and Jeremiah Tillman Jr., who himself might have a big game here tonight. As we take a look at the players to watch, Dave, who do you have for the Bandits?
It's almost a straight matchup. It's going to be Miller Kopp and Teddy Allen. Two guys who both can fill it up. Miller Kopp is an outstanding shooter. Winnipeg's really going to have to be where he is. They can't lose him in transition, and they got to chase him off the line. They got to make him play off the bounce, because if he can get his feet set and shoot the ball, he could score. He's going to get some rebounds. He's going to get a couple assists. Pretty good player, someone to watch.
And for the CBears, you've got a few options here. Who are you looking at?
I'm going a little different. I haven't picked him yet this year. I don't think it's Teddy Allen. Obviously, the guy can score, right? We've seen him for a couple years, a couple times. He's been great. The thing I like about him this year is how he's just being a little bit more involved in the game, doing some other things. He's really bought into the system. But at the end, the one thing he can do is put the ball in the bucket, and that's why they call him Teddy Buckets, man. The guy can flat out score. Probably the best scorer that this league has ever seen.
100%. He's very efficient at 49% from the field. He's averaging 7.5 rebounds a game, doing a little bit of everything. As we take a look at the head-to-head here, as tip-off is about to get underway. Tip-off is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. Tonight's officials are crew chief Chris Bucella, umpires Tony Turnbull, and Wyatt Anders. Jeremiah Tillman going up against Dominic Parolin. Here's a guy that they're going to have to expect a lot from. Seabears win the tip. They've been good at that aspect of the game here in Winnipeg. Don't think they've lost one yet. But yes, Parolin going to have his hands full with Jeremiah Tillman here tonight. We're in for a dandy. We are underway. Teddy Allen has it up top. Miller Kopp guarding him nice and close. Allen has 8 on the shot clock. Finds some paint, goes up with it, lays it in for 2.
Exactly what I talked about. He just finds a way, gets to the paint, spin, little soft touch off the glass. Unbelievable.
Is there a response for Vancouver? Parolin has it up top. Here's Jalen House. He can shoot, and he misses that one. Rims out. Going to be a foul on the play. This one is going to go against Winnipeg. It will be possession for Vancouver at the baseline.
Little contact underneath on the glass there. I think it was... I didn't catch a number, so I didn't see who it was on.
Yeah, this one, I believe they're going to ask for clarification here. It was against Miller Kopp.
Okay.
So this foul goes against Vancouver, pardon us. So that'll be the first foul of the game charged to Vancouver and the first foul overall tonight.
Can't blame yourself. The referee signaled that it was going the other way, so yeah.
So a chance here for the Seabears to extend this early lead. Here it is inside to Jeremiah Tillman Jr. Expect him to be activated quite a bit tonight. Like Rainbow said, they want him to continue being aggressive, and if he could even raise his aggressiveness, that would be great. And that one missed, but Simon Hildebrandt responds with a 2-hand slam.
That's going to be a problem for Vancouver. They're a little undermatched, a little undersized, and I think the Seabears can take advantage of that.
Jalen House looking to get Vancouver on the board. Here's a pass to the corner, 3 ball, no good. That was Joyner's attempt, and Winnipeg gets the rebound. Allen, nice pass inside to Hildebrandt with another 2-hand slam. Back-to-back dunks for the young man from right here in Winnipeg.
Great feed by Teddy Allen, unselfish. Vancouver thought he was taking it to score. Gives it up for 2.
Vancouver needs to get something on the board here. They're down 6-0 early. House looking for space. He's guarded closely by Osborne. Now they're going to kick it out and reset. 5 on the shot clock. Kopp, 2, 1. Puts up a wild one. Doesn't get it to fall, but he's bailed out here with a foul. Looks like this one's going to go against Jeremiah Tillman Jr.
Yeah, reach in there on the drive. Hopefully we'll get a look at it
Might
on the
be against
replay.
Teddy Allen, actually.
There's a real slap on the drive. Kopp's going to get a chance to go to the line to shoot, too.
Yeah, it was on Teddy Allen here as we saw the replay in-house, so Miller Kopp shooting 2.
That was the first possession. I mean, as much as Vancouver hadn't scored, that was the first possession where they were a little out of sorts. Winnipeg did a good job sort of limiting their look. But, so far, Vancouver's been able to get some nice action. They've been able to get some open shots. Just haven't knocked anything down early on. Boy, Kopp's got a great release.
Yeah, Miller Kopp averaging 15 points a game, 5 rebounds, and an assist. So Vancouver on the board. Tillman working on Parolin. Winnipeg working the ball around. Shot clock at 4. Osborne puts up a 3, and he cans that. Dwayne Notice not happy that shot got off.
Osborne looks like he's pretty comfortable in this building. He's played well last week and started off well here again. But Winnipeg's really had an emphasis. They've gone into Tillman on 2 of the 4 possessions so far.
Here's a drive from House. Nice take high off the glass. First field goal here for Vancouver. Fast pace to begin this one. Here's Trey McGowan's going all the way inside. Misses the shot. Here's Dwayne Notice taking the long rebound. House. Hesitation. Puts up a floater off the glass. Rims around a couple of times and falls. And just like that, it's a 3-point ball game.
Nice take by House. He's really under control, on balance, has the ability to change speeds and change direction. Nice looking basketball player.
Hildebrandt trying to find an angle on Kopp. Doesn't, so they're going to put it back out to Osborne. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Here's a 3 from Osborne, and that's a little short. Easy rebound for Jalen House. House finds a lane, goes up right into Osborne off the glass with the left hand. Beautiful finish there from House. Osborne inside, hung in the air, and it's Simon Hildebrandt cleaning it up again. Hildebrandt having a great game under the rim.
He's been really active early. He's got 2 offensive rebounds for 2 putbacks, got the dunk for Teddy Allen. He started very well.
6 points for Simon Hildebrandt. House with the response, and House here starting to heat up early. That's 6 for him.
Boy, he looks dangerous, doesn't he?
Good player, son of Eddie House, NBA champion in 2008 with the great Boston Celtics. Teddy Allen taking the drive with the left hand, runs into traffic, and he's going to draw a foul. This one will go against Dwayne Notice, so Allen will step to the line for 2.
You can see here on the replay that Teddy's just going to come in. He's just going to draw the contact. There's a little bit of reach in there from Parolin, but Teddy takes it strong, ends up on the deck, and he'll get the opportunity to shoot a pair. Something he's done very well is he's really played off the bounce better than we've seen him in the past. He's done more attacking the rim, going downhill, and but almost always in control. He hasn't taken, not taking a lot of wild shots, taking things under control, on balance.
So Allen extends the lead, 13-10. Trayvon Scott into the game here for Winnipeg. Mason Krause about to check in. Same starters out there for Vancouver. House trying to find an angle on Hildebrandt, goes underneath, finds Kopp in the corner for 3, and he hits the side of the backboard. And Teddy Allen going to lead the charge here for Winnipeg. He pulls up for 3. Boom.
Nice transition hoop. That's what Winnipeg can do. One of the things we talk about is those stops, turning that defense to offense, something to do well. In the meantime, Dwayne Notice just races the court for 2.
Veteran point there for Dwayne Notice. Quick response for Vancouver. There's more substitutions coming in here for Winnipeg. Still no one coming out for Vancouver. Allen with it in the corner just inside the perimeter. Tries to get a pass off. It's kicked by House and out of bounds. So Mason Krause and DJ Burns will check into the game for Simon Hildebrandt. And Trey McGowan's Burns made his debut against Calgary in Calgary. He was here for the game, kind of like Xavier Moon. That first game against Calgary, he just didn't play. It was too quick of a turnaround. So this is his home debut right now for the Sea-Bears. Mason Krause trying to get started here early. Goes low and tried to get it off to Teddy Allen, but it was kicked. A little miscommunication there as well. And now we've got a substitution here for Vancouver. And take a look at the replay here from Krause. Just thought he had Teddy Allen, gets it off the cheek, I think, of Dwayne Notice as it goes out of bounds. And we have a timeout here called by Vancouver, so we'll take a quick break and be right back. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CEBL Plus, CBC Gem, and CBC Sports YouTube.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
16-12, the Winnipeg Sea-Bears lead the Vancouver Bandits in this battle for first place. The Bandits currently occupy the Sea-Bears, trying to take it over for the first time since the beginning of the season, when they opened the season with a win against Edmonton way back in early May. This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Thank you for tuning in here tonight on this Thursday. A beautiful day for basketball here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Another capacity crowd for the Sea-Bears. Teddy Allen taking the inbounds. He's double teamed, finds a step off the glass, and he gets it to fall. What a weird looking shot. That's a tough one, Dave Crook.
Little step through, a little runner off 1 foot, knocks it off the glass. Nice play. Vancouver did a pretty good job guarding on that possession.
House takes the screen from Davis, who's now in the game, puts it up, no good. DeAndre Davis checked in just before the timeout. A foul here against the CEBL. So Jalen House shooting 2.
Winnipeg is right now with the lineup they have on the floor willing to switch 1 to 5. Got into a switch there with the bigger Burns against House, and House just took him off the bounce with the right hand straight to the rim and draws the foul, gets an opportunity to shoot 2. But Winnipeg playing a lot smaller. I mean, part of that too, I think, is they can do that because Vancouver's also, missing some size on the inside. So Winnipeg play a little different lineup. We're actually seeing Scott and Burns play together for the first time this season.
As mentioned, Burns joined the team just earlier this week. It's his second game with the CEBL, first at home. Teddy Allen. Double team. They are quick on that on Allen. They don't want him to get going. Here's Krause now. Steps to the side. 3-point shot. No good. Rebound up for grabs. It's a fight down low. It's going to roll out of bounds. Last touched by Burns, so it'll be Vancouver basketball.
You can see that House just left Krause high and was just going to go double Teddy Allen, try to get the ball out of his hands as much as they can.
And Burns out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Immediately had some chemistry here. Very charismatic young man. And he's a good basketball player, prides himself in defense. And he said, when you play in New Orleans, that comes with a trash talk factor. They just love to play out there, and he's hoping to bring some of that edge here to Winnipeg as Jalen House puts out the 3 after hitting that shot, and he is fired up. Here's Allen finding space inside, takes the contact, puts it up, no good. And last touch by Jalen House. He says it was last touch by Burns, but to no avail. It will be CEBL basketball. Tillman Jr. checking in for Burns.
You can see here a little drive. Doesn't get the bounces off, and it's hard to tell. Looked like it might have been even Carolyn over the top with the touch.
And another one-handed floater. Teddy Allen just has a nose for the twine. It's crazy.
Looks like he wants to match everything that happening on one end by House is coming back trying to do something the other way.
So Allen has 11 points here already. 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot missed there by Parolin, and here comes Teddy Allen. Scott unchecked. He's just going to step up for 3. No good. Clanks that on the back iron. Easy rebound for the Bandits. Bandits with a chance to tie with a 3 or pull within 1. Here's House fighting an edge on Krause. Krause with the block, and Tillman able to corral it. Here comes Teddy Allen in transition. Dishes it out to Osborne for 3. Boomsies. And that'll draw a timeout from Vancouver.
Great play in transition by Winnipeg right there. Anytime it seems when Osborne could get his feet set, he just knocks it down. Even have to scramble a little bit to make that catch, but boy, oh boy, that's bothering well.
Just great ball movement here from the Winnipeg CEBL on that one, but a nice play by Mason Krause just before that. I mean, here's the still technically a developmental player, right? He's going to be playing pro this fall in Germany, but here's a guy going up against Jalen House, who is a great basketball player. Looked like he got beat, but just great defensive timing on the trail, able to get a handle on it.
But it's one of the things that Winnipeg's done. They've turned, and I talked about it in the pregame. They turned defense into offense, right? Tough play, block from behind, they get the ball out, quick pass, Teddy Allen outlet, knock down 3, and that's what they do. And right away, Coach Julius has to call timeout. Winnipeg is dangerous when they get going. They're an interesting team. We talk about the fact that they're one of the best defensive teams in the CEBL, holding teams, under 90 points, but they're also scoring way more than they normally do. And part of that is because they're getting a lot of easy things because of that good defensive intensity. The takeaways, by steal, by, effort, all the different plays they make, and they've done a pretty good job defensive rebounding and getting some easy runouts.
Yeah, as we take a look here just at the points for Winnipeg, averaging 98 points. That is behind Scarborough and Vancouver, so they're scoring at a high rate as well here this season. But you're right, a lot of it has come from the defensive end. Guys like Teddy Allen, Isaiah Osborne, who could disrupt guards at the perimeter, as Michael Mulder now checked into the game, missing his first field goal attempt. And here comes Winnipeg on the run again, moving quickly. Here's Allen going to step back, gets hit by House, no call on the play, and there's an easy rebound for Vancouver. It's Joyner leading the charge. Wide open down Main Street. Puts that up, no good. Allen with another rebound, quick outlet to Osborne. Osborne working on House, a bit of a size advantage. Neither guy's very big. Here's Osborne in the post, kicking it out. Nice swing by the CEBL. Scott hesitated, puts up the three from the corner, and he cans it. Trayvon Scott.
Nice ball movement, nice unselfish play. But right away, look how quickly Vancouver's going the other direction.
Well, Vancouver found themselves in a track meet just the other day, playing against Scarborough. They lost that game. The Scarborough now secures top spot in the CEBL. Taking a look at the replay here. Knocked away by Mason Krause, another good defensive play. We've mentioned it before, but if you're new to the broadcast, Mason Krause, one of the all-time great defenders from the Canada West Conference at the University of Manitoba, graduated just recently, and he's now beginning his true pro career. But defense is what this team prides itself in. Mike Rabo known for that from the university level right here to the pros, as Jalen House's mid-range shot is no good. McGowan skip past to Trayvon Scott. Does he have another? No. Davis swings the ball around to Mulder for three. Can't get that to fall. Struggling to find the twine is Michael Mulder in his first couple of attempts. And Trey McGowan's going to draw a foul on Grant Shepard, who also checked into the game.
See on the replay here, just McGowan's bringing it up. Just sort of cuts in front of Shepard. They're a little bit of a veteran play and draws the foul and slows the game down a little bit. The tempo's been, quite fast, and I think he just wanted to settle things down and see if they can get something easy. And it looks like Coach Julius is going to take House out here and give him that extended break going into the quarter.
1:24 left. Grant Shepard, the Kelowna, BC native, playing not too far from home, had an unbelievable opportunity to play at home when the Bandits took the show on the road to Kelowna. Great show out there. Played his last season in Romania. Here's a drive. McGowan's can't get it to fall, but guess who? Johnny on the spot, Simon Hildebrand. 1 minute left here in the first quarter. Winnipeg leads by 11. Vancouver looking to cut in. Here's Michael Mulder, the former Golden State Warrior. Joyner now, 9 on the shot clock, 49 on the game clock. Working the post. As the ball knocked away, Mason Krause not happy with that call. Thought he had it cleanly, but he fouls Davis, and it will be a possession.
See here on the replay, they're trying to back Krause in. Winnipeg was wanting Tillman to come over and double, take that away, and just got caught a little bit reaching over the top. It's a good call.
But these guards are aggressive defensively, whether it's Teddy Allen or Mason Krause or someone in between. 13 on the shot clock here, 40 seconds on the game clock. Joyner guarded right at half by Trey McGowan. He's way beyond the perimeter. What does he have? 3 on the shot clock. Goes into his bag, puts up a shot. As good if it goes. No. They say shot clock violation. A little too much on that one, Dave Crook.
Yeah, he held off to the ball a little bit long. I think, sometimes players get that habit where they just do a little bit too much on the bounce. Sometimes you're way better off when the ball's moving player to player.
CEBL with possibly the last possession here. 14 on the shot clock, 17 on the game clock. McGowan's in the half-court set, getting things set up. Inside, Tillman going right at Shepard. Skips it out to Mason Krause, touched by Vancouver. Smart play by Mason Krause. 5.2 seconds. The CEBL don't even know. They're all going back on defense. As Nate Delamu is checking into the game here for the CEBL. Simon Hildebrand will get a break.
Yeah, a bit of confusion. Both teams, I think it's Vancouver ball.
And the refs are going to talk it over. It's not often you see both teams go in one direction and it be the wrong direction. So we'll see what they say here. But Mason Krause right off the hop.
And they are going to reverse it. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, Mason Krause was very sure. Like, it wasn't even like he was trying to sell the call. It was just like, yeah, it was tipped. Yeah. And but refs see it differently after coming together here. So Vancouver with a chance to dig into this 11-point lead. 5 seconds. Joyner, long way to go. 2 seconds. 1, can he get it off? He does. Good if it goes. Foul on the play. It was on the ground, so it will not mean shots, but there's 0.9 seconds left on the game clock. Tillman just getting a little too physical there on that play, had his feet moving. An easy call for the referee. They did have a foul to give as DJ Burns checks back into the game for Tillman. So it's got to be quick. Just going to have to try and tip it. Here's a turnaround shot. No good. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Winnipeg leads Vancouver 28-17. We'll be right back for second quarter action. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
You gotta love a Canadian news.
Two hands, me. Oh, what a block from behind.
Hi, I'm here with Bernard Rossello. He is a member of the Junior Canadian Wheelchair Basketball team. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Youth and Sport Night, so I would love to know when your dreams of playing for the national team first began.
It first began when I was like 13. When I first got into wheelchair basketball, I saw that there was a massive opening in my life to reach a high level of competition that I really want to compete at. So that's when I really first aspired to be a part of the national team.
Awesome, and I know that wheelchair basketball is a super physical sport. What would you say to somebody who's never maybe seen the sport before, what you really love about it, and think that it should be showcased?
I love that it includes everybody, whether you have a disability or if you are able-bodied. I think everybody should try it and not be scared about it. I invite everybody to come and try out because it's such a fun sport. The more we have, the better, and it forces me to get better if other people are out, right? So that's what I really love about wheelchair basketball.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck with your career.
Thank you so much for having me.
Guys.
All right, thanks for that, Emily. Yeah, Bernard Rossello had a chance to talk to him before the game, going to Pennsylvania to play wheelchair basketball. Basketball Manitoba recently setting precedence here, taking wheelchair basketball under its wing as Vancouver starts with the possession. A drive from Jalen House leads to a foul on DJ Burns. A little too aggressive on that play, Dave Crook.
Yeah, it was a smart take by House. I think right now, Vancouver 17 points in the first quarter. They can't be happy with how that went. Part of it was they just weren't clicking. They didn't make some plays. But a lot of the plays they have made have revolved around that one man. House has just sort of made things happen. When he was off the floor, they weren't clicking, they weren't as good. He's obviously the engine, the guy who makes them go.
Yeah, the Sea-Bears 52% from the field, 37% for Vancouver, but points in the paint, that's where Winnipeg is really having its day. 12 points in the paint to Vancouver's 8, and they have 13 rebounds, including 4 offensive boards. Only 6 total, all on the defensive side for Vancouver, and we figured that would probably be an area of concern for Vancouver, who's playing with a smaller lineup without Tyrese Samuel in the lineup, the reigning most outstanding Canadian. Tough loss for them, and as we mentioned earlier, Mitch Creek also not here after making his debut on Monday in the loss to Scarborough. Here's Allen for 3, clanks that one, ball knocked around. It's Michael Mulder coming up with it, knocked around twice, the foul called on Nate Balamu, making contact there as he was trying to make his way out.
You can see the Sea-Bears making an effort on the offensive glass. That was a great team rebounding situation by Vancouver. They got in, they battled. You can see 3 different guys going for the ball. A little unfortunate there for Balam, who just got tangled up going the other way with Mulder.
And one of the things that, was driven home by Mike Rainbow right off the hop in training camp is just getting guys familiar with the FIBA rules and when the ball is available off the cylinder, unlike the NBA, right? And they've done such a great job at crashing the boards and have been a great team rebounding team. Yeah, to your point, as that shot is missed by Jalen House. Teddy Allen going coast to coast, doesn't get the roll. Tillman with a tough bounce. The smoke machine went off, but it is no basket. And it is a 9-point lead for Winnipeg. Scratch that. A 3-pointer from Joyner makes it a 6-point ball game. Winnipeg leads.
But I know in your conversation with Coach Julius before the game, one of the things they talked about was getting up and down the floor, making a little bit of a horse race, and that's one of the things they did effectively right there.
As he said, this is one of the most talented teams he's had from a scoring perspective. One of the best teams maybe in the history of this league. But he has said defense has been an issue. Now, Vancouver, and he's not making excuses. He said as much. He said he doesn't want to complain about the schedule, but one of the tough realities of the CEBL, as we take a look at the replay here, is the travel and getting practice time. He says they've probably had about 5 practices total, like full practices since the start of the season, and they've had a lot of in and out. By the end of the season, the amount of players that'll have worn a Bandits jersey, is going to be up there. So that's a product of that as well, with guys coming in and out. This Cobb puts up a high one, no good. Chased down by Teddy Allen, but yeah, it's been as good as the record is. It's not been an easy job here for Vancouver, who's kind of like Calgary last week, relying on a lot of tape. McGowan's for 3. Cans it.
Wide open, nice play, Winnipeg. McGowan has the ball, cross court to Osborne. He gets a little dribble punch, kicks it back to the wide open. McGowan's for 3.
And Kopp is tripped up, disappointed with himself. And here's Teddy with the dunk. Teddy Allen now has 13 points. Vancouver looking for a response. Kopp tripped up the first time, runs into traffic this time, and it's another turnover for Vancouver. Here's Allen, quick 3. Boom!
It's really up and down right now. Coach Julius doesn't like what he sees. Kopp put it on the deck twice in a row, went into the traffic, got himself in trouble, turns it over. Winnipeg runs out, ends up with 5 points off those plays.
Teddy Allen has 16 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists. A look at his last 3-pointer. Beautiful shot from Teddy Buckets. Timeout called by Vancouver. We'll be right back with second quarter action. You're watching CEBL Live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around. With free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. Fans having a good time here. Their Sea Bears up 36-22, led by Teddy Allen, who's got 16 points and 6 rebounds here with a couple of assists so far this game. Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. And Dave Crook, I'm Joey Slattery. Emily Potter is our sideline reporter. But Dave, Teddy Allen doing a ton of scoring, but a lot of Sea Bears getting in on the scoring. Simon Hildebrandt also has 8 points, but you look at the Vancouver Bandits, outside of Jalen House, they've got nothing.
Yeah, it's been a tough night, and he's really trying to make things happen, but there's only so much he can do on his own.
He's got 15 of the 22 Vancouver points so far as that pass is errant and sent out of bounds. So it'll be another turnover here for Vancouver and another possession for the Sea Bears, a chance to extend this lead. And I think a lot of people might be a little surprised to see it a little bit distant here.
I think Tyrese Samuel is a huge miss. I think he changes the way Vancouver plays, but more importantly, he changed the way that Winnipeg can play, and I think it's been a real factor so far.
Thing for Vancouver is they'd like to crack that century mark. It's going to give them a much better chance to win as that shot goes up by Osborne. No good, but Simon Hildebrandt with another putback.
That's 4 offensive rebounds and 4 putbacks for Hildebrandt. He's been active on the glass. But again, I mean, Vancouver doesn't have anybody really to match up with him.
He's got 4 of the 6 offensive boards as Vancouver responds here.
And he's been able to convert all of them.
14-point game, Winnipeg leads. As Dave Crook mentioned, no Tyrese Samuel. The big miss for Vancouver. Trey McGowan's goes in, 2 points, and the foul.
Great take by McGowan's, put it on the deck, downhill, comes in, finishes with under contact. Had his best game of the season last weekend. Finished out with the left hand. That was a nice take. In Calgary, he was outstanding on Sunday afternoon. Played very, very well. A big part of that victory for Winnipeg.
So he has a chance to make the 3-point play here. And it's a 17-point lead for Winnipeg as Mason Krause checks back into the game.
You know, in 17 normally would be pretty scary, but Vancouver has some guys who can fill it up. If they can get into a roll and, you know, get a little tempo and maybe make a couple stops, they can make something happen, especially if Winnipeg takes their foot off the gas, and then it could be, you know, great for the Bandits.
So here the Bandits working inside. Davis with a turnaround shot, no good, but they're able to track down the rebound. That's their first offensive board of the game, but it's a quick steal. Isaiah Osborne, and here comes Teddy Allen on the run. A nice defensive play from Jalen House to break that up. Now he puts up the 3. No good. Dwayne Notice with the rebound, hands it off for another crack at it. No good again. House 0 for 2, and another steal from House. House with a third opportunity, gets that to fall. A careless pass there from Simon Hildebrandt.
And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. If Winnipeg gets a little sloppy, they let Vancouver make some plays. They gave them 3 chances, you know, 2 of them off turnovers and 2 defensive rebounds.
And you notice a bit of a dip here in the energy in the building. Like, those are the kind of plays that can change a game. And here's Osborne going up, no good. It's blocked. And a late whistle here, so there'll be a foul.
And it's going to be another offensive rebound for Simon Hildebrandt, and this one won't be a putback, but he's going to have a chance to go to the line and shoot 2.
New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jersey now by visiting CEBL.ca. Simon Hildebrandt steps to the line.
You know, I know Hildebrandt's had some good games in this building, but this, to me, is exactly how he has to play. If he can play like this, physically active, getting on the glass, being available, he's got good hands, he's a pretty decent athlete, he could be very, very, very effective for a long time.
And he's been effective here tonight, 1 for 2 on this trip to the line. But it extends the lead. Winnipeg 42 points here as we near the halfway point of the second quarter. Vancouver 26, really struggling to find their rhythm outside of Jalen House, who's got 17 points for Vancouver. Dwayne Notice going inside, pass inside to Parolin, still looking for his first field goal. He has the ball knocked away, and a big save by Trey Scott. Here comes Teddy Allen in transition. Spin move from Allen into 3 defenders, has the ball knocked away. Easy stop here for Vancouver. House nearly had the ball picked. Now he has it back. Parolin wanted the ball, but Dwayne Notice will take a shot at 3, and he cans that one.
It's exactly what we talked about, right? You make mistakes, you invite them, you give them a chance to crawl back in. Now it's 13. They get a takeaway here. They can get it to a 10-point game.
Notice and Joyner both have 5 points. Those are the second in scoring after the 17 from House. Here's Osborne. He takes a drive. Nice move. Smooth as butter inside for the underhand, getting through all of the defenders there.
But it was Winnipeg taking some time, getting the ball to the second side, getting the ball to the third side, and they just broke down that Vancouver defense.
And nice pull up there. That's Shamar Givens getting his first field goal in his first game of the season with Vancouver. Isaiah Osborne, quick shot, and he gets that one to fall.
Isaiah Osborne is liking this building, there's no question.
They are pouring it on here. Yeah, Isaiah Osborne, 8 points in the last game against Calgary, though he does have the last 2 target score winners. He's 2 for 2 with the CEBLs in his 2 games played. That knocked out of bounds. And no touch by the CEBLs, so it will be their ball as Simon Hildebrand checks out for Jeremiah Tillman Jr.
Tempo right now is good for Winnipeg. I think they've been great with their defense, doing some good things. Vancouver's got to try to find a way to get some stops, something they haven't done very well.
Here's a chance for Krause, who puts it up, no good. Shamar Givens now going to get things set up for Vancouver. He was a key part to this team last year on their run to the conference semifinal, where they lost to Calgary in a controversial game. Here's a pass to the corners. Wayne Notice going for his second 3, no good. Trey Scott, easy rebound. Ball worked inside to Teddy Allen, just out of the reach of Givens. Allen on Notice. Draws the double team, gets it out to Scott, who trips up getting the ball. 5 on the shot clock. He's going to put up a 3. And he cans it.
Big shot there, but you can see when Winnipeg trying to post up Teddy, 2 or 3 guys running at him. They don't want him to have the ball deep.
A 19-point lead for the Winnipeg CEBLs. Vancouver has not led this game, and it's starting to slip on them here early. They need some responses, and they need it quick. Givens working on Scott, pulls up for 3, no good. Tillman will grab the rebound. Allen, hesitation right down the middle. He's tripped up, tries to pass the ball, and it goes out of bounds, mishandled by Vancouver.
You know, I think one of the things we've seen tonight is when House isn't on the floor and he's not making things happen, Vancouver really seems to have a tough time scoring against this CEBLs attack. Yeah, there was some contact, but I don't think there's enough there. I think the referee's got that one right. Teddy was looking for something, but he lost his balance, went down. But there was a last touch from the Bandits, and CEBLs will have possession. And just like that, House is back on the floor. They really need him right now to make some things happen. I mean, 19 is not too much, but it's a lot.
Yeah, House has been the scoring factor for Vancouver's. Teddy Allen hits another 3 in the corner. But you're right, without I was going to say Eddie House, Jalen House, they've really not been able to find any sort of rhythm. So you can imagine he's going to have a heavy load here as the night continues on. And 1, Jalen House. He's fired up.
And there he goes once again. Great take, but that seems to be all they have right now. And that's not going to be enough. You know, it's interesting. Teddy knocks down that 3 ball, and we'll see a replay here of House, and he attacks. McGowan's off the bounce, goes right by him and gets him. Tillman tries to get up and block it, but he just has no answer and takes the foul. But I was talking to Teddy before the game, up by the locker room, and he was talking about how he hasn't shot the ball well, and that's not been the case tonight. 3 balls, looks like he's got his radar going today.
No, he is in rhythm, Teddy Buckets. Jalen House averages 23 points and 31 minutes a game, and he's well on pace for that here tonight in both regards. Isaiah Osborne, House, giving him all sorts of trouble right at half court. 8 on the shot clock, less than 2 minutes to play in the half. Osborne cuts the defenders, finds some space, reverse with the right. What an effort there by Isaiah Osborne.
Osborne cool and collected, man. All kinds of pressure there. He could have easily given that one up. Took his time, spun, got in the paint, made the little finger roll.
Here's a pull-up mid-range, no good. That was Joyner. Allen. Not bothered by any defenders. It's Balamu with a wide-open 3. That's a little short. And here comes Vancouver on the run. House, again, putting it in high gear, and he's going to draw another foul. House doing a little bit of everything here for Vancouver.
And he sort of has to, in a way, and we'll see here in the replay, like he's just pushing it, but it's almost like, at times, yeah, that's definitely a foul, but it's almost like it's 1 versus 5. It's like one guy trying to take on the world. You know, and I know we had some of that the first year, when we were doing the CEBLs games where Teddy was almost single-handedly winning games for us. But, as good as House is, he's not Teddy Allen in my eyes.
House perfect from the line so far at 5 for 5, making 6 for 6. Coming up the half, CEBL feature with David Mutabazi from rookie to pro. Emily will interview Vancouver head coach Kyle Julius, and of course we'll revisit the first half stats and Dave's players to watch. And House remains perfect from the free throw line, 7 for 7. 20 seconds on the shot clock, $1:15 left in the first half. Winnipeg working with a 19-point lead. They've led by as much as 21. McGowan's right in the house. Outlet pass to the corner. And it's Mason Krause missing the shot, drawing the foul. So Krause will step to the line for 3.
And that's one of the things that Winnipeg's doing very well. You saw there McGowan's off the bounce, finds Krause in the corner, little contact from Notice, and Mason's going to get a chance to shoot 3. But Winnipeg is, as much as they've played at tempo, and as much as they've created things with defense, with rebounding, and they've put Vancouver in jeopardy, they have at times when they got to the front court, they've taken the ball, they got it to the second side, they got it to the third side. They've been patient. They've used dribble penetration as their friend. I mean, it's a pretty good offensive effort from the Sea-Bears so far. And one of the things that you've talked about, and you said about Kyle Julius not getting the opportunity to do some things in practice, one of the things that comes with that is they're not going to be as in tune in terms of the defensive end as they'd hope to be.
And Krause hit the first one, misses the second one. David Mutabazi checks in for Vancouver as Krause hits that. Mutabazi, we have a special on him at halftime, as just mentioned. The Langley, BC native playing right at home. Went to Trinity Western. And here he's going to try and get Vancouver on the board before the end of the quarter. It's a 21-point ball game. Winnipeg leading Vancouver. Vancouver currently occupying first in the Western Conference. Winnipeg can change that with a win here tonight. And here is House creating all sorts of contact. Is able to draw the foul. And that one is going against, I believe that's going against Krause. We'll
Krause gave a little bump on the body underneath just before he took that shot. I don't know if we're going to see it on the replay, but there's a little bit of contact, a little lean in. They were banging back and forth. Nice play there by House again.
So House will go to the line. He's perfect from there. 7 for 7 so far. He's got 22 points in the first half. Make that 23. Simon Hildebrand into the game for Krause, looking to get that rebound here with 45 seconds left on the game clock. And House hits again, 9 for 9. He's 7 for 13 from the field, shooting 53%. And he's got 1 3-pointer to go along with it. Just a phenomenal game here from Jalen House.
And he's been up and down, he's defended, he's hit the deck, he's done everything.
But he needs help, and that's gonna do wonders here. It's a jump ball, so it will remain Winnipeg basketball, but Vancouver needs to string some stops together, and he needs some help on the scoring front. As mentioned, he's got 24 points, and Vancouver only has 38.
Yeah, I know. He's been the man tonight. He's done it all. But like I said, it doesn't matter. I mean, Winnipeg's got too many weapons. They've done too many things. They need a little bit more. Coach Rainbow a little unhappy with the no call there. I think on the inside, I think he got a warning from the officials.
Yeah, and House is getting into it. I don't know if it's a fan or someone on the bench. Looks like it's someone on the bench. And House, as we've seen, last game he picked up 2 technicals in that loss to Scarborough, which also didn't help Vancouver in the battle with the top team in the league right now, the Shooting Stars. So, Sea-Bears know that you can get under his skin, but he's going to have to keep it in check here because he's the only one getting anything done. And here he forces another turnover, picks up the steal. Here he goes all the way down, loses the handle, but finds Shepard. Shepard going to dribble it out. 25 seconds left in the quarter. It's a pick from Isaiah Osborne. Shot clock turned off. Osborne, invisible man cutting through the key.
Just so cool and calm, collected, going to the rim. It looks like the game slows down when Isaiah Osborne has the ball in his hands.
He makes it look easy, at least here in Winnipeg, these last couple of games, the way he's able to cut through the key with traffic and just so poised going up with it as a foul's called here on Osborne.
Yeah, a real confident player, no question. Had a great U Sports career, and then he's been a solid pro. I know that the Sea-Bears were really excited to have him as part of the team this year.
Championship pedigree, as we talked about on the Target Score Winnipeg podcast. He was a guest there, and he won a provincial championship in Ontario in high school. He won 2 national championships with the Carleton Ravens. He was a U Sports Finals MVP. I mean, he's done it all. He'd love to add a CEBL title to that. As Joyner hits that shot, 10 seconds on the clock. One last chance for the Sea-Bears to extend this lead. They're up 19. 3 seconds. McGowan's to Scott for 3. Boom! boom! Trayvon Scott extends the lead to its biggest yet. 22-point lead for the Winnipeg CEBL at the break. Plenty to talk about here for the Vancouver Bandits. A big hole to dig themselves out of after halftime.
Pretty good effort. Nice shot by Trayvon Scott. He looked pretty confident. Not one of his strengths, as we've seen him in the past, but he's set, ready for the ball, knocks that one down. Nice unselfish play by McGowan again.
Yeah, Trayvon Scott, 3 for 9 from three-point land. He's got 9 points. And we've got Emily Potter standing by with Simon Hildebrand. Emily.
All right, Simon, 5-0 rebounds for a perfect 5 for 5 shooting from the field. Was that something you wanted to emphasize coming into today's game?
Coach Rainbow's been pushing me to crash the glass more and find ways to make hustle plays. So I feel like I've just been trying to do that in this first half.
Definitely. Okay, what do you guys need to do to make sure you completely close the door for Vancouver in this second half? It's a big lead, but anything is possible and they can get hot in a hurry.
Just don't take our foot off the gas. Keep crashing the glass, keep running transition, keep guarding, and those are things that I'll translate for the rest of the game.
Awesome. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you. Thanks.
Guys.
Thanks, Emily. Simon Hildebrand, 11 points and 5 offensive rebounds in the first half. Really got things going early here for the CEBL, but it's been all CEBL in the first half. Everybody chipping in. We've got 7 players who scored here for the CEBL. Pardon me, 6 players who scored for the CEBL, 3 of them in double digits. A lot here for the Bandits to handle in the second half if they want to make a comeback. They're back down 22. We'll be back with our halftime show. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CEBL Plus, CBC Gem, and CBC Sports YouTube.
Inside, Budabansi! Inside! And the hometown product delivers!
Hi, my name is David Mutabazi, and I was born in Rwanda. I was raised in Canada. I live in Langley, BC. And what I bring to the locker room is like the spirit of work and joy and like being so teammate friendly and teammate oriented. And I think like that translates to a lot of my role on this team. Like I'm here to connect and be someone who adds on to the team always. And I think everyone should always have that as a baseline, but I know that that's my biggest strength. Like there's many things that I can do well, and for me to know that I'm surrounded by so many people who are so talented and have so much experience and I can just learn from them. I think like having that as a mindset, I think already seeps out that culture that Kyle and the Bandits have instilled with the team. That leadership role can look very different, like Jalen Shirley and Shaden Smith as well, like people I've been playing against for the past 3-4 years at U Sports, and to see them come in this space and obviously have such a big impact as they have. My leadership is just to like be alongside them and just be there and show them that like, hey, like keep working, keep pushing, like try to not be a hypocrite about how I act as well, and keep them accountable to how I would as well be, like want to be held accountable. That type of game like that I want to kind of resemble is to be a player that can be used for anything. Like to be someone who you can put him in any position and they'll make an impact and they won't do too much, but they'll play that role well and they know those details, and just to help the team in any way is the best type of player you can ever be. And that's what I always try to think about and have in the back of my mind, because I think I have a lot to give. I've always wanted to be different things. I've always wanted to be a scorer. I want to be a defender. I don't think I can be great at all those things, but to the level that I'm playing at, and the professional level, and seeing that there's guys who have mastered some things and other stuff, and seeing that I myself can add on to their game, add on to those teammates that I have, add on. Like if that's the mindset that I have and like have learned and practiced into, I think I'll have a successful like career for however long I play. And I think the standard is immediately something that you feel when you're in a pro environment, and to play to that standard is like a niche. Like a lot of people, it's something that can like destroy their bodies or destroy them mentally and so on. And I think I found that it's something that I'm able to handle and like play to, right? And I've seen that there's moments where I might not play well, and maybe that's the standard that environment is giving me and so on. But I think to the higher level that I've been exposed to. Like, I think I love that competitiveness, that energy, the everyday work. Like, that's something that I enjoy and I feel like I play to, and my abilities like complement. Learning to play your role doesn't mean that you are a role player necessarily, and that mindset can really like change someone's game for the better. Representing Rwanda, like my national and my home, like that was out of this world. That was a wonderful experience, something I truly couldn't pass on, and my family was the most proud. My parents, the basketball world is a lot and like very nuanced to them, and it's hard for them to understand, but when they heard that I had been called up for the national team, like that was something that they were so overjoyed about, and that just to see that the impact that has on my home and my culture, it was awesome. It was incredible, truly.
We want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling sites instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
Do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. It's been a runaway here in the first half for the Winnipeg CEBL, up 22 points, 62-40. Winnipeg leads the Vancouver Bandits. I'm Joey Slattery. Alongside me is Dave Crook. And Dave, this is we were expecting a bit of a tighter game, I think, in the first half. Still plenty of time for Vancouver to get through this, but as we mentioned throughout the broadcast, you don't have a guy like Mitch Creek, and I think you're really missing a guy like Tyrese Samuel, who, really changes the way that Vancouver plays, and they're seeing the holes here tonight.
Not only does he change the way Vancouver plays, he changes the way Winnipeg can attack. Winnipeg got the ball inside. They got it in early to Tillman. They sort of try to set the tone that way, and they got a bunch of stuff off the offensive glass. I mean, Hildebrandt has 4 offensive rebounds, got a 5th time we went, got a foul on it, so he's got 9 points off the offensive glass on his own. So, yeah, those missing pieces have changed the way this game looks in my mind.
Just to put it out there, our producer out in Toronto, Jamie Tan, letting us know that the record before tonight for first half points by the Seabears was 60, and they did it on June 6th of 2023, the first season against these very Bandits. So Jamie Tan, as talented as he is, handsome. But let's take a look at some of the highlights here. There are a ton, particularly for the Winnipeg Seabears and, Jalen House. Jalen House absolutely on fire this game for Vancouver and has really been carrying the entire load. He's got 24 points here already, so the record was set just the other week. Few players in Vancouver history have had 36, Mitch Creek being one of them, Tyrese Samuel being one of them, and Joyner had 37 points to set the new record, and might have a chance to get that if you're Jalen House tonight.
I wouldn't be shocked if House gets the record tonight the way he was going in the first half, and it'll be interesting to see if they try to change a little bit of what how they play.
And let's take a look at the halftime stats here as we see that last shot go in. Yeah, dominant performance here from the Seabears. Just how dominant? Well, they're shooting more than 50% from the field, and Vancouver not even hitting 40%. But look at that three-point percentage, Dave, 55% for the Seabears, and that was an area we thought Vancouver might be able to exploit offensively. And then the free throws, 13 for 13 from the Vancouver Bandits, but a lot of those, again, are Jalen House. Jalen House finished that one with, 9 for 9. Right? So, 4 other free throws after that. And looking at the assists, Winnipeg just moving the ball around, getting guys involved, and 24 rebounds again without Tyrese Samuel. That's going to be a battle all night.
You lose the rebound battle by 10. You lose the assist battle by 8. Winnipeg's shooting 19%, I think more, or 18% more than what they normally do from the three-point line. Part of that's ball movement, part of that's opportunity, part of that's transition. So I think it all meshes together, and what it looks like is a 22-point lead at halftime.
Yeah, and like we said, lock and change in half. I'm sure Kyle Julius has more than enough to tell his team in the locker room right now, and we'll see how they come out. We'll get back to our halftime show after a quick break. Stay with us. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
We want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling sites instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
Do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
redtag.ca.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. Second half action about to get underway, but before we do that, let's take a look at our players to watch. Dave Crook had highlighted Miller Kopp for Vancouver, Teddy Allen for the CBears, and one severely outperforming the other.
Yeah, and I said it would be almost an exact head-to-head matchup, and it has been, and Teddy's dominated it. You know, Kopp had 3 good looks from 3 early in the first quarter, went 0 for 3, and I think that was a big factor. And, you know, Teddy's just been all over the stat sheet once again, making things happen for Winnipeg, and he's a big part of the fact that they've got a 22-point lead at the half.
Well, the CBears a couple of weeks ago in Ottawa set the record, the team record for points with 117, and Jamie Tan is just breaking a sweat going through the CBears record book right now because another record was set by the CBears in the second quarter. They had 34 points, which ties the record versus Scarborough, also set in 2023. And you remember those games at home in 2023. There was a lot of magic in this building. So not surprising these records were set in 2023, but this is the type of vintage performance the CBears are bringing forth here tonight offensively. But as you've alluded to throughout the broadcast, it's not the offense that has been standing out, and the offense has been happening because of the defensive plays.
Yeah, I mean, defensively they've been good. They've been solid as a unit. I mean, I looked at the stats and broke down. House is 7 for 13 for the Bandits.
Yeah,
on his own. The rest of the team is 5 for 19.
That's wild.
And that's not great, right? Things just aren't happening. But Winnipeg's been good defensively. They've been active. They got some takeaways. They've got some easy things in transition, and that's the style that they want to play. And that's exactly, you know, what Coach Rainbow looks for. And boy, oh boy, they're playing to script tonight.
Follow at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. And, one of the things, too, Dave Crook, is, looking at this game, and us as viewers, and the audience wants to see, the first place. That's the storyline people are interested in. But, one thing that Kyle Julius said today is, that's not on his radar right now because Kyle Julius, has been in first place from start to finish before, and he wasn't, and they weren't able to get it done in the playoffs, right? Yeah. So he's worried about peaking 3-4 weeks from now. Not sure if we're going to get him for just came out of the tunnel. Looks like we might not be checking in for the interview. So stand by. Emily Potter standing by. We'll see if we get to that. But nonetheless, Dave Crook, this is not when he wants to peak anyway, and you're not going to go, you're not going to go without a loss this year. They've got 3 losses, and this is a good Winnipeg team and a good test for the Bandits as well.
I get that, and I understand, but I'd much rather be at home. I don't want to be going on the road. Road wins happen, and it has to happen, and it's happened against them. So I think he's worried about it. Part of the problem in the CBL is that team that you have at the end might not always be the team you have making things happen. So put yourselves in the best position possible. Best position possible is being at home as many times as you can in August.
And he's also alluded to, this is not the Bandits team that you're going to see, come late July and August. There's still players that, have been signed that are playing out in Europe that he's expecting to come back, and those will be announced in due time. But, they're trying to work through it right now, and to Vancouver's credit, they've had a lot of guys coming in and out that have contributed to this great standing that they're in right now.
They're 7-3. They've played great basketball, but Winnipeg's made them look pretty ordinary today. But we also know that this is a pretty good Winnipeg team.
Yes.
This is not a run-of-the-mill squad. This is a good squad, and they will only get better with the addition that they just announced, yesterday in town.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that this is pretty much the complete Winnipeg team now, with Xavier Moon expected to, likely to make his debut on Saturday against Edmonton, the team he last played for and won 3 MVPs with and 2 championships. Dave Crook. So obviously Winnipeggers excited here as second half action is underway. But yes, it's been a while for this Winnipeg team. They've had a lot of players they're waiting for. Osborne came in last week. He's got the last 2 game winners since joining the team. We used to save the term closer as Dwayne Notice hits the first 3 of the half for Vancouver. We used to call Jelani Watson-Gale the closer. Yeah. He's getting a little competition here early from Isaiah Osborne, another former Edmonton Stinger. So that'll be a great contest on Saturday here in Winnipeg when the Stingers, who've really become a rival of the Sea Bears, come to town.
And Winnipeg looked like how they started the game, same way. They wanted to get the ball to Tillman early, make something happen. Vancouver on the other side got the ball deep with House. House kicked in the corner, Notice knocked down the 3. That's the way that they have to play. They have to get the ball deep, make Winnipeg collapse, and get open shots on the perimeter.
Yeah, and Tillman picking up the foul on that last play. Here's the replay here. So Parolin going to go to the line for 2.
But the same thing. That time the ball went in instead of going out. But they got the ball into the paint. They got the ball. They break Winnipeg scramble. They make them get into rotation. That's what they need to do. They can't come down like they did in the first half and basically one guy driving against 5. And yeah, he did some amazing things. But you're not going to get back into the game doing that. You got to get other people involved, and you got to put Winnipeg in jeopardy.
Dominic Parolin, 1 for 2. He's got 1 point here tonight. That was his first point of the night. As McGowan's drives inside, kicks it out. It's Isaiah Osborne slowing things down, gets the screen from Tillman and the switch. Here he is on Parolin. Going to pull up in his face. No good, a little short. Jalen House rushes out to get it. House right at Osborne, puts up the hook shot, and Hildebrand going to pull down the rebound. And an offensive foul charge to Jeremiah Tillman Jr. Very animated in the questioning of that call, but a strong take there from Dwayne Notice. Here's the replay.
Yeah, you can see there's no question. He pushes through. Nice play. The guy stepped in underneath. That's one of the problems for Tillman. Tillman is such a he can change the game. He tilts the floor for Winnipeg, so important on both offense and defense. But he picks up a lot of cheap fouls, and that's a real problem.
Yeah, he's had foul trouble a few times this year. And he is now on the bench, so they're not going to risk it here. Here's Vancouver, still trying to cut into this lead. They're down 18. 6 on the shot clock. Parolin, the Coquitlam native, has the ball knocked away by Teddy Allen. Allen now behind the back on House. He's into the double team. McGowan's fires it in. Saw Trey Scott just a little out of reach. All good, they say. It was just a miscommunication. A little too far, a little too strong.
But a couple minutes, Winnipeg hasn't scored. This is what the Bandits need. This is the only way they're going to get themselves back in it.
Parolin playing for the hometown team. An NCAA product himself going up against Allen. Has the ball knocked away, and Allen secures it and gives a little bark at the end here. Allen really feeling it here in this game. He's off to a great start in that first half, trying to pick it up here in the second. McGowan's going to float it into Scott, who's wide open. Easy bunny for number 4.
Let's strike the front there, and Winnipeg recognized it, threw the ball over the top, and got the easy 2 to Scott.
House dribbles out of the double team, and here's Joyner going hard to the glass. Has that. Didn't have it knocked, but he wasn't able to get the shot to fall. Osborne now trying to extend this 20-point lead. Skip pass to the corner. Scott, quick pass. Here's Allen for 3. No friendly bounce on that one, and the rebound secured by Joyner. Nice lead pass, Parolin. Can't get it to fall. Vancouver just struggling everywhere offensively tonight. Here's Allen now in traffic, and he gets that floater to fall. Teddy Allen continues his great play. That's 23 points for Teddy Allen here in the second quarter, drawing a timeout from the Vancouver Bandits. Winnipeg leads 66-44. We'll be right back with more third quarter action coming up on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
RedTag.ca.
It's been all Winnipeg here at Canada Life Centre as we are now less than 7 minutes, or a little more than 3 minutes in rather, to the third quarter. 66-44 is the score. This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire, and it's been a dandy year for Sea Bears fans, but Dave Crook, Bandits fans might be a little bit sweating a little bit here because they're running out of time.
Yeah, I think it was interesting because we've played 3 minutes. For about the first 2:30 of that third quarter, Vancouver did everything they needed to do to sort of change the game, make things happen, tilt the game a little bit in their favor. And what happens, Winnipeg makes a run in 30 seconds and it's back to being 22 points. So yeah, it's going to be a tough night. I don't see a path back for the Bandits, and I know there's a lot of time and a great take there in the full court, but I think it's too much heavy lifting.
Timo Yugu was just acknowledged, the Manitoban who was part of Team Canada's gold medal U18 winning team, the U18 Worlds, that is, where they beat the USA. He had a big play towards the end, getting an ovation here as Teddy Allen turns the ball over, and it's Joyner with the easy bunny.
Back to back easy takes by Joyner. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe there is a route back.
Well, this is what they need, and they need a lot more of it. And now the defense here, intensity stays high for Vancouver. Dwayne Notice on Mason Krause. Here's Krause for the drive, goes into traffic, and he gets that to fall and one. Jalen House going to pick up that foul as we wait for the call on the shots. We'll go to Emily Potter with an update. Emily.
Yeah, listening to that timeout, you said it exactly, Joey. They are trying to turn up the heat. Probably their last chance in this game to give themselves a chance to get back into it. They're going to go over on all the screens and just be ultra aggressive and see what happens.
All right, thank you, Emily. And yeah, I mean, it's really all you can do at this point. Winnipeg has been running rampant on offense. Need to slow them down somehow and turn those into points, much like Winnipeg has been doing against Vancouver as Krause gets that to fall. So Mason Krause having himself a good game here too. Here's a drive from Joyner right in on Krause, gets him in the air, then he goes off the glass, and Vancouver starting to chip away. It's a 19-point lead for Winnipeg. Kopp right up on Allen. Joyner waiting to put that double team. Allen has to pick up the ball. Krause over to Allen. He takes it baseline, looking for space, skips it to Osborne, who's been hot from three. Does he have another? No. Scott takes a wild swipe at it, and it's Dwayne Notice settling it down for Vancouver. Joyner right on Osborne, spins, finds some space in the paint, puts up a floater. That's no good. DJ Burns with the rebound over to Osborne. Osborne with speed, gonna pull out. Reassess the situation, plenty of time, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Burns working on Mutabazi down low, misses the first shot but gets his own rebound. Here's Scott, pans the three.
Trey Scott, flat foot all the time in the world. Nice pass there from Burns. Trey Scott not known as a great three-point shooter, but he's shooting the ball well today.
4 for 6 from three is Trayvon Scott, who started 4 games with the Brooklyn Nets just a couple months ago. And there's another steal. DJ Burns gets it to Krause. Krause goes up and he's fouled hard by Mutabazi. That'll be shots for sure. And he gets up real quick. But what a hard foul there, making sure he doesn't get the easy two.
But another takeaway by the Seabirds, just a misdirected pass. Hustle play, dive on the floor. Burns picks it up. Scott, and then gets it a hit to Krause. And Krause gets hit pretty hard, but he'll go to the line for shoot a pair.
Not a dirty play, just a good hard foul.
But one of the things that the Seabirds have done, and I mean, Vancouver's been a little bit sloppy, and Winnipeg's just put in that little bit of extra effort, and that's why we've got this gap.
It's been tough for Vancouver, who now trails by 23 points. This is the biggest deficit for Vancouver, and it just seems, Dave Crook, every time they get a little bit of a run, seem to be chipping away at it. Winnipeg just puts the pedal back down to the metal and extends it.
It takes so much energy to fight back, right? They're doing everything they can. They play hard, but you can't play hard for like long extended periods of time, especially because some of these guys have logged a lot of minutes. And Winnipeg just keeps running bodies at them, and that's been a real advantage so far.
And Jalen House, that's his first field goal of the second half. With now we're at 4:20 left in the third quarter. So even he is cooling off a little bit here, which makes things tougher on Vancouver. Defensively, the pressure's been put on, though. Intensity remains high for Vancouver, but Winnipeg able to find their holes. Here's Balamu for three. He clanks that, but DJ Burns volleys that back in and gives a flex to the crowd. That's DJ Burns' first 2 points at home for the Seabirds. Mutabazi now gets it over to House. House calling for the clear and a screen. Kopp slips that. Now House steps into a three. No good. Scott, easy rebound. McGowan's going isolation here on Kopp. Has nothing, so he'll get it to Burns. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Scott has it. Burns tries to dump it over the shoulder, but it's knocked away. He's able to retain it. 2 on the shot clock. Osborne for three. My goodness.
He's just so clutchy. Just nice play. But again, Winnipeg with the energy, the hustle, the second effort, that's been the difference tonight. Vancouver just playing at a different speed.
And now Osborne shooting 50% from three. He's 4 for 8, nearly has a steal. Vancouver still has the possession. And here's Mutabazi going in, and an easy bunny for him, but still a long way to go.
Bit of a scramble play there. Winnipeg thought they had the steal. They were sort of going in the other direction. Bandits take back possession. Mutabazi gets to the rim and finishes.
And here's a chance for McGowan. Can't get it to go. Vancouver secures the rebound. Here's House on the run. And another 2 for House.
And that's Winnipeg. We've talked about they can't get sloppy. They got to continue to play hard with intensity, and that's what's going to put them over the top. But again, 3 more subs coming in. They just keep running bodies at the Bandits.
House has 28 points. Scott loses the handle. House picks it up. And he's going to have to slow it down. Here's Cobb. Passes up the 3 for Mulder. Mulder for 3, no good. And Trey McGowan's with the rebound. And then out comes Winnipeg in transition, not slowing it down. Trayvon Scott, woo, buddy.
Wow, what an athlete. He just elevated.
And another steal for DJ Burns and another turnover for Vancouver. 81-56, Seabears lead, and we're not even through the third quarter. There's a minute 40 left. Is there another record-setting night for the Seabears and for Jalen House, who has 28 points? And going to be a foul called here.
It's tough. Vancouver's playing hard. They've done all the right things. When Winnipeg just does a little bit more, they've got a little bit more offense. They got a little bit more effort, and it's just been too easy for them.
Pardon me, this was just an out-of-bounds play.
Just a little reach in there from Cobb.
Oh, no, it was the reach there. Sorry. Yeah. Didn't see the referee there. Substitutions come in for both teams. So you got Parolin, Mulder, Dwayne Notice, Joyner, and House out for Vancouver. Krause, Allen, Scott, Hildebrandt, and McGowan's for Winnipeg. Catch all the exciting basketball from here at the Canada Life Centre in downtown Winnipeg as part of Seabears Summer. Pick up your tickets by visiting cbears.ca/tickets or scan that QR code on your screen. Teddy Allen. Scott giving it right back to him. He goes inside. Easy buddy for Allen. Buckets starting to pile up for Teddy. He's got 23. The defense has not relented for Winnipeg. They are pressuring high at the perimeter. Mason Krause going to pick up a foul on House.
Yeah, it's tough. Vancouver, it's tough for them. You look at the starting 5 for Vancouver. They've all played somewhere between 19 and 25 minutes. Winnipeg only has 2 guys who played 20 minutes. They just keep throwing bodies at them.
Well, and this is an impressive performance for Winnipeg. We talked about earlier how, first place at this point of the season, there's still a long way to go. But, for Winnipeg, this is a real big test for them. They've lost some big games, 1-possession games in the East, and today they're not making any, taking any chances. And this is the best team in the West after a couple of close games. Well, I shouldn't say that. It was close for the most part in that first game against Calgary before they broke it open. As McGowan's goes up and he can't get that, the foul going to be a foul called here against Michael Mulder and the Bandits. But this is a game where they've, so far from start to finish, have really kept it down.
They look like they really want to play. And the other thing is all these guys know that there's also a guy who's been the multiple-time MVP in this league who's going to be coming in looking for minutes. So if you're not playing at your best, you're not going to get those opportunities. So, and a lot of these guys playing for paychecks. So, it's critical. They want to perform. They want to show the coach that they can do it in any situation.
Well, if you're Xavier Moon here for your first game in person, as he talked about and head coach Mike Rainbow talked about, he's been very active. He's watched all the games on TV from Russia, and then he spent a little bit of time at home in the U.S. before coming over. But if you're Xavier Moon watching this game, you got to be impressed with what you're seeing and raring to go for Saturday.
Yeah, and I think you're excited about playing in this building, right?
That's one thing he's not done. He's not played in the CEBL since Winnipeg joined the league. Here's Trayvon Scott. Showtime! And that will draw a timeout from Vancouver. Trey Scott taken to the sky and putting in another 2. He's quietly having himself a great game. He now has 18 points in this one, including a couple of 2-hand flushes.
But again, it's a takeaway on the defensive end. He shoots the gap, makes the hustle play. Vancouver just a little flat-footed, and he's going to go up and he gets the easy dunk. But Winnipeg has created offense with their defense. They've done all the things they need to do. This is sort of almost, you don't want to say it's a perfect performance, but it's pretty darn good. Coach Rainbow can't be very unhappy with some things. I think early on in the first half, House had his way at times, and I think that was problematic. They seemed to solve some of that. And I think that it's a bit of a runaway train right now, and I don't think there's any way to stop it.
Well, it's the gritty plays that lead to the pretty plays, Dave Crook, and that's what we're seeing from the Sea Bears. And this is not a one-game performance. I mean, this is one thing that has really stood out to us this season is just how much they've improved at the defensive end from a year ago. And a lot of it has to do with that intensity. They play strong, along the perimeter. But those active hands, and as you mentioned, shooting the gap, they've just been so good at reading it. But I think part of that, and you would know better than I, is once you get in that rhythm and you build that confidence, those reads become easier.
Yeah, and part of it is how they're coached. I think they're coached differently. I mean, Mike's focus on the defensive end, even with these guys, I see it every day with the Westman guys, but how he does it here with the pros and how they've bought into it, they play defensively differently than other teams we see in this league. There's no question right now. And certainly differently than they played the first 3 seasons they were a franchise in the CEBL.
Well, one of the things I'll say, Dave, is, Mike Rainbow, this is 15 seconds left. I'll continue this in the fourth quarter. Let's get this last call out of the way. Vancouver trying to bring this to within 30. House puts up the shot, no good, and that will do it. Here's a shot from Burns, no good if it goes. So just like that, it is a 31-point lead for the Winnipeg Sea Bears, taking absolute control over the Vancouver Bandits at Canada Life Centre. Still 1 quarter to play. You're watching CEBL basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
It is time now for our Cal Tire Cruise of the game, and this one just happened a few moments ago. Trayvon Scott shoots the gap, gets the steal, and puts down the two-hand flush, the gritty play leading to the pretty play, and it's been a pretty game here for the Winnipeg Sea Bears so far.
Yeah, there's no question. There's no way to paint this to make the Bandits look or feel any better than they do right now. For Winnipeg, it's been an outstanding performance. They've basically done all the things they need to be successful.
Yeah, Bandits just have struggled to get anything going here as a team. Jalen Harris playing well, 28 points. And he's got a full quarter here. 37 is the team record for Vancouver, so that would be a bright spot here for the Bandits. And there's a steal. Joyner trying to get it done, keeps it in bounds. He's going to pull up for 3. Joyner cans it. Good start here. Explosive start for the Bandits.
Well, they started the third quarter the same way. Let's see if they can prolong it a little bit.
So they get the stop, they get the score. But they're down 87-59, and here McGowan's doesn't go, so can they chip in for this 29-point lead? Here's another 3 from Joyner, no good. And Sea Bears will go the other way. And that's going to be off our kickball from McGowan's. So it'll be Vancouver ball as Mason Krause checks into the game.
McGowan's just got tangled up a little bit, goes down off the crossover. Nice reach in there by Joyner and kick ball, and Bandits get it. So the Bandits, again, they started the quarter the way they have to. They got some takeaways. They, made a big shot. Now they've got to capitalize again, and they just got to chip. And it's got to be, little 10-point games is the only way they can do things right now.
Yeah, because it's a 28-point game.
No, but they've got to win,
100%. And to your point, as Jalen House draws another foul, he'll go to the line for 2. But as mentioned, when we talk about momentum, when we talk about creating that culture, it's still early in the season. We're just at the halfway point here, or nearing the halfway point. And, Kyle Julius needs to build to the next game. These guys have a tough stretch, right? I mean, they just played Scarborough, the best team in the East. They're playing Winnipeg right now, who is the best team after them in the West, and that looks like it's about to change. They've got Brampton coming up, who's another great team from the East. I mean, this is the real gauntlet test for Vancouver.
Right. And that's what you need to do. You need to test yourself so that you're ready to play in August.
Bandits fans, bring the energy every night, and you can be a part of it this season. Tickets are available by scanning the QR code or at thebandits.ca/tickets. Langley Event Center, great place to watch a game. Love that venue, love the energy in that atmosphere, I should say. And when they're winning, it's a lot like this one that Winnipeg is experiencing. Very dominant performance from the Sea Bears. As that ball's knocked out of bounds, Shamar Given's going to check back into the game for Vancouver.
Yeah, they just got to keep chipping. They just got to play hard, right? You never know. If they can get it to 17-16, it's possible, it's doable at target score time. But that's a big ask, but who knows?
These teams play 3 more times this season. Tyrese Samuel away working out with the Portland Trailblazers right now of the NBA. So when he's back in the lineup, expect a different game. I don't think this is a true testament of the division or the gap between these two teams.
I don't think any of the games going forward will be 30 points ever again.
And here's a pull-up shot. House, and he gets that to fall. Jalen House with Simon Hildebrand in his face. Cans another 3. House just having himself a game. That's 33 points for Jalen House. He's 4 away from the record for the Vancouver Bandits. 37 is that. It was set just the other day by Jarkel Joyner.
And he had a slow third quarter. Didn't score for the first 5 minutes. I would be shocked at this point if he doesn't go for 40.
His father, Eddie House, as mentioned, former NBA player, champion with the Celtics, and current studio analyst for the Boston Celtics. Probably has a lot to say about this game. Definitely some positives on the offensive side for Jalen, but a lot to break down here for the Vancouver Bandits on the tape. As mentioned, have not had a lot of time to practice as Joyner goes up and gets another 2 to fall. But they've had to depend a lot on tape. A lot of guys coming in and out. It's been tough to build that chemistry, and this is very much a product of that, especially when you're missing one of your best players. Tillman Jr. gets it down into the post to Teddy Allen. Allen goes right into Parolin, can't get it to fall. Parolin with the rebound. And there's another turnover for Vancouver. It's Scott taking it away. Krause to Allen in the corner for 3. Cans that. Teddy buckets, feeling it as well.
But again, another unselfish play, right? Winnipeg gets a takeaway there. Scott to Krause to Tillman to Krause to Allen, knock down that 3, and there's the finish of it right there. Teddy had so much time, takes a bounce, and he's not missing that. I mean, goodness gracious, he makes that, 9 out of 10 times?
Whether Teddy is rushed shot, has all the time in the world, he doesn't miss.
No.
Bandits return home to Envision Financial Court at the Langley Event Center to host the Brampton Honey Badgers in a highly anticipated face-off between Sean East II and Jalen House. Catch the action from the Lower Mainland on Saturday. Tip-off for that one is 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central for our Manitoba and, no, not Saskatchewan, only Manitoba right now because of daylight saving time. From the prairies, you know the complications with that. Here's Osborne for 3. No. Tillman with the rebound. Foul.
Good rebound by Tillman, and that's something Winnipeg did early, right? They got to the glass early, and that put Vancouver at jeopardy. And that's the big miss by Samuel right there. they haven't had to do it as much as the game's gone on. But again, there's another second effort, another possession.
So Givens picked up that last foul as Osborne puts another 2 in there. Isaiah Osborne now has 20 points. Teddy Allen has 28 points. And leading all scorers is Bandits guard Jalen House with 33, as that shot is well off the mark from Givens. Allen, who's in his return with the Sea Bears, was away from the CEBL last year, making up for lost time. Teddy this year definitely in the conversation for MVP and is likely the front runner as Dwayne Notice goes down. There'll be a foul called here against the Sea Bears.
And again, we talked about it earlier. That's one of the problems for Tillman right now. He just keeps getting fouls in situations where they're unnecessary. And Winnipeg's going to need him to win games, and they can't afford to play without him on the floor. He's the one guy who's different in their lineup, who really can make things, give other teams some real headaches.
Yeah, he's got 4 fouls in this game as well. That's typical for him in those types of situations at this point of the game, as there's another 2 points for House, who continues his role offensively here, the major bright spot for Vancouver. Now 2 points away from tying the record, as Allen says, I see what you can do, I can do it too. And now Kyle Julius getting into it with a fan, and now he's shoving him. Kyle Julius letting the fan get into him, and now the assistant coach gets the fan in the eye. This is wild. Tempers boiling over here for Vancouver, down 97-70, and now the fan going on the court challenging players here. Security's got to get involved. The in-game host is the guy holding everybody back. And finally, security coming in here as the melee continues. The Sea Bears are trying to help out. So cooler heads will prevail here, but that is not what you like to see. And that is the problem, Dave Crook, with the vicinity that fans have here courtside of security. He's going to talk with him. I'm sure he'll be escorted out here momentarily as an unexpected disruption of this game. I didn't see that coming. I just saw the whistle and look over, and they were nose to nose.
Yeah, they were nose to nose. Obviously Kyle Julius not in the best frame, and hearing some nonsense from the fans can be difficult. But there's no way that should not be allowed to happen. That guy can't be allowed to jump up, and the fact that he got onto the court and was having words and sort of squared off with the house, that's just not right. That's an avoidable situation, and that can't be allowed to happen. Security was a little slow to react there.
Yeah, a 27-point lead. It's, as you say, not in the best frame of mind at this point, and thankfully the fan has been escorted, and we'll get back to playing basketball here. But just another part of a tough night here for Vancouver.
But what you don't want this to spill over into the game. Like, you don't want the negative energy to impact the way this game's gone so far.
Bandits return home to Envision Financial Court at the Langley Event Center to host the Brampton Honey Badgers in a highly anticipated face-off between Sean East and Jalen House. That game gets underway at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. And the Winnipeg Sea Bears stay home and welcome Isaiah Moore and the Edmonton Stingers in a rematch of the season opener. Action begins there Saturday, 3 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Mountain Time, and it's also the first time that Xavier Moon will play against his old team.
So I got an explanation from the officials. Fan made contact with the coach. There's no discipline, no impact at all to the coach, and it was just going to be a made basket possession going to the Bandits.
So cooler heads prevail here. We are back to playing basketball as we near the halfway point. I shouldn't say that of the fourth quarter. We've got target score time here coming up in 1 minute and 46 seconds. A foul there on Jalen House. So now he has a chance
to break. I think he's at 37 right now.
He is at 37 points. He's tied the record. A foul shot here would give him the franchise record for most points in a single game in what is currently a 27-point deficit for the Bandits. And there it is, history made for the Vancouver Bandits. Jalen House, 30.
Probably not how he wants to do it, but he's been the one bright spot. Like, he's played hard for 35 minutes so far, and
he's kept it up.
Yeah,
in these games, it's not easy to keep your motor going.
And he's doing it at both ends, and he's playing defense, and he's working, and he's rebounding. Like he's at a really brave performance.
So Jalen House now has 38 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, and 4 steals. So he's trying his best to get anything going here for Vancouver as we draw closer to target time. Trayvon Scott going to hit that mid-range jump shot right in the face of Dwayne Notice. How many does House have? That's the question now for the Bandits. Now, Seaver's trying to give him no space, but a nice pass into Givens, who puts in an easy bunny.
Nice unselfish play for a guy who's had to carry the mail most of the night. We're also prepared to give it up.
Givens nearly gets the steal, but he steps out of bounds. But you're 100% right. And one of the other things, too, is, a guy like that's seen so much, getting so much heat, and I mean that in a good way, like he's catching heat, but he's trying to get players involved because they've got another game coming up in a couple of days. Yeah. And, you're trying to get everybody a taste. At least they can go out on a note of maybe getting a feel for the ball or a feel for a score. As McGowan's is going to draw the foul, and one, Trey McGowan's. Givens going to be charged with foul. 101 points for the Sea-Bears. Doesn't look like they'll have enough time to get to their record that they set just a couple weeks ago as we take a look at the replay here, but they've broken the century mark, and they've got more to go.
A lot of contact there on the baseline. Nice spin by Trey McGowan's, got to his right hand, and friendly roll and 3-point play.
Less than a minute until the target score time comes into effect as the first whistle after the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. The game clock will be turned off and we will be in target score time. Can House add in a couple more before the end? Hasn't knocked away. Now Notice trying to save the possession. Skip pass to the corner. Here's Givens for 3. Clanks that, and Scott going to secure it for Winnipeg. 102-74. Sea-Bears lead it. McGowan's, as he falls, gets it to Scott. And a nice roll on the offhand for Trey Scott. Here's Joyner with the drive, baseline. He's met by 3 Sea-Bears. Ball knocked away. It's House with a nice pass inside. But they're going to call, I think that was a travel. I missed the call.
I think it might have been 3 in the key there. I think that Givens never left the key there when the ball was underneath of him. Kicked it back out. House drove down the lane, found him unselfishly, but I think he'd been in there for about 5-6 seconds. Wyatt Anders made the call.
So one thing about these seats, we're courtside, but we do have a lot of distractions and people and lights in our way. Here's Krause now, settling down. Sea-Bears just trying to make the most of the possession as they get close to the target time. Next whistle will draw target time, and McGowan's just going to play aggressively here. He'll draw the foul. Didn't want it, but he'll take it because that gets us into target time. Stay with us. Target time is next. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian boost. Two hands. Me. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins. Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama,
and anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy?
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
So before going to the break, Shamar Givens drew the foul and was given shots as Winnipeg is in the penalty. He hit both shots. So now we've got a 104-76 lead for the Sea-Bears. So 28-point lead, so you got a 28-point deficit you got to erase before you even think of target score time. So don't know if they've got that many stops in them, but they're going to give it a try, Dave Crook.
Yeah, it's basically impossible. But you know,
never say never,
no,
Dave.
Never say never. I think the league record's 17.
Something like that.
Yeah. So 37 seems a little outrageous, but anything's possible.
Anything is possible. That's what the Bandits are hoping here. Bandits have had a great start to the season, 7-3. Looks like they're going to drop here, unless barring a miracle, to 7-4, which will be the same record as the CEBL. The only difference is CEBL will have the tiebreaker on that one.
The head-to-head.
The head-to-head. So Winnipeg with a win here. The target is 113. And if the CEBL could attain that, as it looks like they very well might, they will have possession of first place in the West, and it's really entertaining for a good race down the stretch here as they start jockeying for position.
Yeah, and these two teams have 3 more times, head-to-head, so that's exciting.
One thing Winnipeg has done well this year when they have a lead is not messing around in target time. They tend to finish these games quickly, as Krause has the ball knocked away by Givens. Givens tries to knock it off Krause. Ref said it was last touched by Winnipeg, so Vancouver with a chance here to dig into this deficit.
Good hustle play by Givens to start it off.
That's the one thing you have to say about Vancouver is they've never given up the hustle. Like, it's not at any point. The body language hasn't been terrible.
No.
The intensities remain high. It's just been a bad game for Vancouver. Like, they've gotten no bounces, and everything's going in for Winnipeg. And House puts up a brick there and hears it from the crowd. They're going to give it to him because they've been waiting all night for one. Scott gets it down to Osborne. Scott gets in the post, working on the smaller notice. 9 on the shot clock. Again, game clock turned off. That 113 you see is the target score. Here is Jalen House, unable to get that floater to go, and Scott going to push the ball up to Teddy Allen for a long 3. Cans it. Teddy buckets from long range.
Wow.
31 points for Teddy Allen. Pardon me, 34 points for Teddy. So he is going toe-to-toe with House, who has 39 points, the new record for Vancouver. My goodness, between those two guys, Dave Crook, we are getting a show offensively.
Yeah, two individuals playing hard. And here's another example of the guys playing hard. I mean, Scott willing to hit the floor, and Kopp comes in late, but guys hustling in a game that's basically over. That's what you like to see at this level.
As Kopp gets mixed up with Mason Krause. And I believe the basket's going to count.
I think, yeah.
The basket's good for 3, so Jalen House adds another 3.
And then they're calling a foul, I think, on Mason Krause with a little takedown there of Miller Kopp on the three-point line. So I think it's going to be Vancouver ball, 14 seconds on the clock.
So House is, sorry, go ahead.
No, and they were able to chip it down. They're doing what, I mean, again, just like they started the third, like they started the fourth, they've done the same thing at target time. They've done the things they needed to do. The sad part for them is Teddy Allen hit one from about 29, right? And now Winnipeg only needs 6 more.
Well, House, again, I know we keep talking about House, but he has been the driver of the Bandits on both sides of the floor. He's got 42 points. He has 5 everything else, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals. So, I mean, here's a guy who's just really, having himself a game. The tape is going to be great for him in terms of, the highlight tape and the scouting tape. But other than that, it's been a tough slog here for Vancouver.
Yeah, the fans are giving it to them a little bit.
Reminding how long they have to go to that target score. And it is a long, long drive to that 113 target for Vancouver. Winnipeg, though, it's going to need to put it away. Here's a shot. Allen for 3, no good. Osborne tries his luck at 3, no good. Allen with the rebound and the putback. Another 2 for Teddy Allen.
But again, Winnipeg, 2 offensive rebounds, and they create another basket out of it, extending possessions.
Teddy has 36 points for the CEBL, as that is a brick from Joyner. Winnipeg, 2 possessions from closing this game. Allen goes all the way in, gets it out to Osborne. He puts up a 3. Cans it! Isaiah Osborne, does he have another one in him? He's got the last 2 target score winners. CEBL trying to string together a 3rd straight win. It would be a season-high win streak. House, double team, Winnipeg not wasting any time trying to disrupt this offense. Inside, easy to no. Dwayne Notice misses the layup. Here's Krause over to Scott for the game, and you can put this one in the books. Trey Scott ends it. Winnipeg wins 114-81.
Big performance from the Winnipeg CEBLs. Maybe their best performance of the year. I mean, if nothing else, they knocked off the number one team, the team that had been dominant in the West for the last 2 years. So they've got to be happy to get this win at home. Nice unselfish play by Krause. Finds Scott, and he gets another flush. And again, so many people contributed, to the CEBLs victory. But you don't have to look far from number 8, Teddy Allen, who put together another outstanding game.
Winnipeg 3 points shy of their franchise record for total points. I don't think anybody, even including the players gone here, Bandits are still struggling with some fans here as the handshake line moves forward. Jalen House had to be dragged away. But I don't think, Dave Crook, anybody would have predicted, even with Tyrese Samuel out of the lineup, even with Mitch Creek not being here, even if Xavier Moon were in the lineup, I don't think anybody would have predicted Winnipeg putting up 114 points, the second most points all time in this franchise's young history, on the Bandits.
Yeah, they just walked away with it. They stretched it out in the first, stretched it farther in the second, and they just got better and better and better every quarter. And Vancouver just had no answers for them. And Winnipeg really dictated tempo. They played a lot of people. They got a lot of people involved. And, they're going to be very happy with that win. And, they're going to be looking to do the same thing the next time they play the Bandits, because they want to show them that they're the better team.
100%. They won't have to wait long. Next Saturday, the 27th of June, Winnipeg will be in Vancouver. They'll be looking for redemption on home floor, the Bandits, after this very tough game here on all accounts, other than Jalen House having a great game. But in the meantime, we've got Emily Potter standing by with our Booster Juice player of the game. It's Trey Scott. Take it away, Emily.
All right, Trayvon, you filled up every category of the stat sheet. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel good. I feel amazing. It's good when you put in work and it shows, I get up every morning. I put in a lot of extra work. I drag a lot of my teammates to the gym as well. And, results like this are going to come,
All right, what do you got to say, CEBLs Nation?
Say it again?
What do you have to say to CEBLs Nation?
CEBLs Nation, we up. It's our time. It's our year. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, not a tough job here to get the crowd fired up after this one. 114-81. Trayvon Scott had himself a great game off the bench. He had 24 points. He had, 4 for 6 from 3. He had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, doing a little bit of everything, 3 steals. But it's been a complete team effort here, Dave Crook. And we'll get a little bit more into it as we look at the highlights. But let's take a quick break and we'll wrap this thing up. You're watching CEBL live on CEBL Plus, CBC Gem, and CBC Sports YouTube.
CA.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
It's a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. First, the Niagara River Lions host the Saskatoon Mamba for a school day game and a mid-season interconference test from the Meridian Center. Sean Woodley, Joe Razzo, and J.J. Evison bring the action. 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central in Saskatchewan. Then the nightcap. The Ottawa Blackjacks make their way to the Toronto Pan Am Sports Centre to take on the red-hot Scarborough Shooting Stars in an Eastern Conference showcase. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You can catch all the action on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. And this one is a 114-81 win for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Dave Crook, this is it was Winnipeg from start to finish. Vancouver didn't have a lead this entire game. Vancouver's got to be happy, though. They're heading back home. Not an easy run here. They've got Brampton next. Then they play this rematch in Vancouver next Saturday, so a week from tomorrow. And then they have the Edmonton Stingers. And I know the Stingers are in fourth in the conference, but, you know, this is a very tight Western Conference it's shaping up to be now that, you know, Saskatoon has kind of found their groove. Edmonton is always a threat. I never count out a Jordan Baker coach team. And Calgary's got one win under their belt now, too. But just not an easy stretch for Vancouver here as they head back home, but they have to be happy to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you're always happy to get home, and they have to regroup. They have to sort of settle back down. It's been a tough trip for them, and obviously what Winnipeg did to them today, they put it on them, and they're pros and they're proud, and they don't want that to happen. So they're gonna step back up. And I mean, they're a good team, and obviously Kyle Julius has done a good job since he's been there.
Yeah, and they'll be happy to leave this place. It was a little rough towards the end. Jalen House, a little frustrated as he was leaving the building, but what a game from House. I mean, 42 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. I mean, despite the loss for the Bandits, Jalen House really shined in this one.
But he had to, because there wasn't a lot of support. The supporting cast didn't do a lot to help him out for a long period of time, and that was part of the problem. Winnipeg just kept throwing bodies at them. They had a number of guys. They had Trey comes off the bench, gets 24. Teddy goes for 30-some. It was just a big effort. Hildebrandt gets 5 offensive rebounds in the first half for 9. So they sort of did all the things they needed to do. And the biggest thing they did was, I thought the defense was good early when they needed it, and it created offensive points. And that's been a trademark of how they've had success all year long.
Only one other player on the Bandits had double digits, and that was Jarkel Joyner, who had 18 points. Just to put perspective on how dominant this performance was from Jalen House. And on the other side with Winnipeg, I mean, everybody who touched the floor, outside of Jeremiah Tillman Jr., we talked at the start of the game, we thought, hey, this might be a game for him without Tyree Samuel. He was 0 for 3 from the field, and it really didn't matter. It was a non-factor. You had, 36 points from Teddy Allen. You had 23 points from Isaiah Osborne, 24 from Trayvon Scott off the bench, and 11 from both McGowans and Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt got those points early, but he really set a tone as well for the Winnipeg Sea Bears.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, he's played some good games here in his career, but how he played tonight is how he has to play if they're going to be effective, and he's going to help them to win games.
Yeah. We talked about the doubleheader tomorrow, the day game and the night game. Tripleheader on Saturday begins here in Winnipeg as the Edmonton Stingers come to town. There'll be the second meeting between the two, the first time Edmonton comes into this building. And Dave Crook, there was a long time where Edmonton would come into this building as the only team that knew how to win here for a long time. That changed last year, and Winnipeg's kind of evened out that series, but it's always a good contest when Edmonton comes to town. Yes, they lost Dane Danger. They're still a dangerous team, and now they're feeling maybe a little bit of desperation because it seemed like it was going to be, the top 3 were going to run away with it, but then when Saskatoon started getting their bearings, the Mamba now leapfrog them for third. Little desperation at the halfway point of the season for Edmonton as well. So what's the key for Winnipeg now is they can take in this win, big one, but they got to prep for a game here, a day game, 3 o'clock start local time against the Stingers.
I think they just need to keep doing the things they're doing, and if they can get Xavier Moon in the lineup, I think that also pushes them almost to the next level. And, they went into Edmonton and won in a game they probably shouldn't have early in the season. I mean, to open things up. So, yeah, boy, oh boy, I was impressed with what I saw from Winnipeg. If they can continue to play this way, it's going to be difficult for teams coming into this facility, and they've already shown they can win on the road.
not to get you more excited than you need to be for the game. We talked about the rivalry, but before the season began, Jordan Baker was quoted as saying, we're going to see a lot of familiar faces that have left to other teams. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Isaiah Osborne, Trey McGowans, Xavier Moon, 3 guys that have played for the Stingers, now playing not for the green, but for the teal. So it's definitely tealer on the other side. But there's definitely going to be some personal battles there, too. And earlier today, Xavier Moon talked about it. He said, I know that things were said, and he's looking forward to having an impact there on Saturday. So I think if Edmonton, yes, Teddy Allen had another 36 points today. You know what Teddy Allen brings, but you might want to plan for Xavier Moon's game, too.
Well, you might. Having 2 MVPs on the floor isn't a bad thing. Mind you, Teddy Allen, I mean, he got 36, but he averages 28. It's not like he had 40,
And that game will be 3 o'clock as we close out with some highlights here. A runaway game for Winnipeg, who never gave up the lead at any point in this game, winning it 114-81. Again, the next games for both these teams go Saturday as the Vancouver Bandits welcome the Brampton Honey Badgers, an 8 o'clock start Central, which means it'll be a 6 o'clock start Pacific time. The Seabears host the Edmonton Stingers, trying to make it 4 in a row, which is now would be the longest winning streak of the season. They've just set their longest winning streak at 3 here tonight. We'll do it all again on Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you then. On behalf of our sideline reporter, Emily Potter, our color analyst, Dave Crook, and everybody upstairs that makes the magic happen, I'm Joey Slattery. See you Saturday.
Knock 'em out the mud, knock 'em out the mud, knock 'em out the mud with your head top, time for some action.